Tim Dillon because I need to get my YouTube numbers up. Hey, Tim.
Anything I can do. Anything I can do. Thank you for having me.
You are such a bad match for the Good For You audience. This is truly just to get more YouTube subscribers.
Yeah, I mean, and it saddens me that more of them haven't taken a liking to me. So ladies out there with your candles, come on over to the Tim Dillon Show.
Why are you wearing sunglasses?
I'm a venture capitalist right now.
Okay.
I've moved into that. I appreciate comics and comedy, but I'm now realizing that my strongest attribute has always been I have a keen eye for the market. I'm investing and I'm building businesses. So if you want to build businesses, we can build businesses. But I'm just bored with entertainment. I'm in a different sphere.
Okay.
I put myself in a different space.
After you just bought stock in movie theaters today.
AMC movie theaters, I went in heavy and hold the line. And we are showing that the institutional Wall Street and the big money players, that we are wrestling back a little power back.
Explain this. Give me some context.
Hurting my eyes.
I know. Yeah. Well, it was hurting my views.
On Reddit, there's something called Wall Street Bets on Reddit, and it is it's a Reddit where people discuss stock prices.
Okay.
Everybody on that Reddit, they were talking about, they went into GameStop because all these big hedge funds short stocks like GameStop.
Can I be an idiot? Yeah. Can you explain to me what a hedge fund? I've tried to date men that are hedge fund managers. I know that's something.
It's just a lot of rich people that pull their money together.
That's a person you want to marry, but what is a hedge fund?
It's a lot of high net worth individuals. It's an investment vehicle for high net worth individuals that pull their money together, and then somebody obviously manages that money and invests.
And invests it in. Correct. It's not like a 401k.
No. Okay. No, I mean, everyone could have a 401k. So you could work at a place and have a 401k a week later.
I just still don't know what a hedge fund is. You just explained it and I'm more confused.
Well, it's a fund for very wealthy people that want to make a lot of money.
Okay.
And a lot of these hedge funds shorted stocks like GameStop because GameStop
shorted stocks. What does that mean?
Betting that it will fail. Betting that it's not going to be valuable.
Because no one's going to go into
all of that
because
stuff.
Of the Amazon.
AMC movie theaters.
Killed the business,
all of these things, right?
Okay.
So what people on Wall Street Bet started to do is said, hey, wouldn't it be fun if we started buying these stocks so that the people that shorted them had to then cover their bets? Because if you're betting on a stock to fail and it doesn't fail, you got to cover the short, right? So it's actually, they forced GameStop up. My producer Ben knows how much?
It went from like $4 to, I think it peaked around like $4.90.
Right. So from $4 to $490 a share.
And now it's like $2.20.
So now,
it's like a prank?
It's a prank, but it's also like basically it's saying you guys have manipulated the market for a very long time.
Yeah.
You've artificially inflated the price of things. You have, played this game. Now we have the information. People on Reddit have the information. We have things like Robinhood and these apps that allow you to trade stocks. Why not? Why not get into the game? Why can't regular people get into the game in the same way that all these institutional Wall Street guys have been in the game forever?
Right.
And then, of course, as soon as that started happening, the government pressured Robinhood, the app everyone was trading on, and then I'm sure they had other pressure coming from other people, and they stopped trading today on those stocks, right? On GameStop, on AMC.
Yeah, Robinhood. You couldn't do GME, AMC, or Nokia.
Right. So the three companies that people were pushing, they said you cannot trade on those companies, which is insane. Seemingly illegal because nobody was doing anything wrong.
Corrupt.
Nobody was doing anything illegal. The SEC is not investigating any of those companies. There's no reason to really freeze trading. So Robinhood has now come out and said, we're going to open limited trading tomorrow and watch it, which still seems sus. But, so again, it's like this is what happens when you try to get a seat at the big boy table. And this is kind of a movement that started on Reddit that is now becoming somewhat powerful and distressing, and it's costing a lot of these hedge fund guys money. So I got in for a decent amount of money.
This just feels like
crazy.
Chaos. Like I just feel like it's chaos. Like I feel like we're in chaos.
It's chaos.
Like they hacked the stock market.
Yeah, it's chaos, and they want a seat at the table, and they know that they're not going to get a seat at the table like this. But they also know that this can leave some egg on the faces of very wealthy people, and why not? That's the real question. Why not? Even Ben Shapiro, who defends the markets and capitalism and everything, came out and said, you'd have to have a heart of stone not to laugh at what's happening.
Yeah.
Like most people are sitting back and going, Now, of course, there's the argument against it saying that it completely turns the stock market into a casino and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
However...
Was it ever not a casino? It was always a...
People in this country, especially after this quarantine, after being told they can't work, being told they had to shutter their businesses, not getting any support from the government, are like, hey, and then watching the stock market just keep going up, not reflecting any of the reality on the ground. The stock market keeps going up, keeps going up. All these people are without jobs. Why not?
Rich people getting richer.
Why would they not do this? And I'm happy to be a part of it. Like, why?
Would this have happened without the pandemic?
I don't think so. It might have. It certainly could have.
Like, because I do feel like we've, all gone into a feral state of self-preservation, every man for himself.
Right.
Like, I feel like we've just...
Well, you have people on Reddit that are showing you how much they made and going, I can help my mother who has Lyme disease now. Like, now I can help somebody that didn't have the money.
Yep.
Now I can write my mother a check, pay for my sister's
Is this
Lyme
what the
disease.
redistribution of power and wealth looks like? Is it happening?
I mean, well, it was until they shut it down.
Who's they?
The government.
SEC, but who? Like, who's the person?
Robinhood app, the CEO of Robinhood decided to.
But who influenced that person?
Guarantees people from the Biden administration and big money players on Wall Street.
That's wildly... Are we Russia? That's wildly corrupt, right?
We're living in a mafia criminal state. I've been quite open about this. I mean, these are the oligarchs.
Yes.
This is an oligarchy. Oligarchs are, people that control vast industries.
Mm-hmm.
There's a handful of them, and they have a tremendous amount of power. And those are the people that are pressuring the CEO of Robinhood, himself a billionaire. These are his friends. These are the people he sees at the parties. These are the guys he hangs out with in the Hamptons and Palm Beach. These are the people who his kids are going to go to school with their kids. And they're picking up the phone going, hey, man, what's going on here?
People forget that, the only thing I really know about in terms of like making laws and stuff in government is like animal abuse stuff. And when you go in there and try to pass an animal bill and you're like, oh, we got it, this is abuse. Someone's like, well, that's my friend's has an elephant and I don't want to... It's all just...
There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
So that's what people are saying. My friend has an elephant fund that's getting really screwed because a bunch of your people are fucking with us. So please stop that. Now, tomorrow, we're all waiting. We're holding the line. It's called Hold. I don't know when this comes out.
What
probably
is holding
in 3 months.
Yeah, what is the whole...
But, I mean, I know the schedule of this podcast, like, she records and releases it in 4.5 months. But, again,
I'm sorry we try to add some production value to our podcast. I'm sorry.
I
doesn't look like
that's why people like podcasts.
I'm sorry it doesn't look like a high school theater production.
Whenever somebody recommends a podcast, they go, what? You got to listen to this. The production value is amazing. Do you see the lighting?
Yeah, you and Alex Jones could use a little more lighting, to be honest.
Well, pay for it. Let's see what happens. I think it'll be very interesting to see what happens tomorrow morning when the market opens. Does AMC fly? And we're hoping it does. We hope GameStop flies.
And then you're going to sell? And then you're going to sell?
No, we're going to hold. I think the game here is to buy and hold and force their feet to the fire.
Yeah.
I may sell. No, I'm kidding.
This is chaos.
I'm not going to sell. I'm going to hold. Everyone should hold. That's what it's about. Force
Tim,
them.
I've known you for about a year now. This is the happiest I've ever seen you.
Well, it's exciting.
I mean, this is
nothing's exciting anymore because everything, even though the
we've
news
watched all the porn.
Even though the news is so horrible, it's boring. It's like you turn the news, you're like everyone's dead and dying.
Well, we're so desensitized, yeah.
It's so this is something that's actually happening where you're like, oh, I can get involved. I can check my thing. You know what I mean? It's
is this like
cool.
an older a boomer video game?
No, this is for young people. This is for young people that are sick of a system that doesn't really they don't have any power. Yeah. They don't have a stake. They don't have a seat at the table.
Will anything permanently change after this?
Feel like they have skin in the game. Not for the good. I think probably they'll limit people's ability to trade. They'll limit all these things. They'll say you got to have a certain amount of money to trade. They will try to enforce compliance in any way they can. Are they able to do it? I don't know. Guys like Dave Portnoy have been out there saying this is, hold the line, don't sell, force these guys' feet to the fire because what they're doing is illegal. You can't shut down trading of publicly traded stock if it's not being investigated. They're doing that to protect the interest of big money players. It's wrong.
Yeah.
And guys like Portnoy, to his credit, have come out and said that. And when I leave here, we're interviewing the head of Wall Street Bets, the guy who runs the Reddit where all this stuff started happening. But this is I think it's a good. I think anyone defending this, defending the Wall Street side of it publicly has been to Jeffrey Epstein's island, and there's photos of it. And they got an envelope this morning with a photo of them and Ghislaine Maxwell, and then they started to go, well, the market must function in a way that But I mean, why not? Why not let the little guy go out and make a little money and force these, whales to cough up some money? There's nothing wrong with that.
Wild.
And I know people are going to go, well, it just turns the market into a casino. And like, you don't really believe that AMC is valuable, and you don't really believe that this is GameStop is valuable. And it's like, hey, number one, do you want to start really digging deep on all the money that's been made in the market? And can we really assess how serious people were about what they believed and didn't believe at the time they made trades? So at the end of the day, it's like, this is legal. It's above board. And I'm for it. And that's why I consider myself now a venture capitalist, and I will continue to raise capital and allocate it in the way that I see fit.
Tim, we've been through a lot together in this quarantine.
Yes, it's been wild.
We trauma bonded in the beginning.
Yes.
And I do want us to address the fact that we got in a fight the other day.
We did, because I canceled the podcast.
We got in a real fight.
I canceled the podcast.
I mean,
to go look at Elise.
Yes.
To do a walkthrough.
He was due to come to the podcast on Sunday.
Yes.
His call time was 10. At 10:15,
Yes.
he texted me and said, I can't make it. I have 10 people waiting here.
I didn't realize that. See, that's what I didn't realize.
Right.
And that's what I apologize.
5 people.
And to the staff. I had no idea that the podcast was the filming of a movie. Like, I thought it was just a producer and you.
Do you think I know how to work any of this equipment?
Yeah.
You think what is this?
Yeah, I'm
not Rick Glassman. What do you think this is? This is a real production.
I know, but why?
Why?
You don't need all these people. And I don't want to take any of their jobs away, because they're all working very hard. They're all on their phone and everything. And I know how hard they all work and how essential they all are.
It's called fake business.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is called. But I didn't realize that. Had I realized that, I would have rescheduled. But that walkthrough was like the only time that we got the tenants out. You could do the walkthrough.
But what happened? Because we are so on the same page all the time. We had like a real fight. Like we both went into our inner child.
I think. Well, I think the only thing I said that was even slightly. I said it's not Two Broke Girls, it's a podcast, and then you got very angry at that. It was such a light touch of a thing, and you got very angry.
I lost my temper. It doesn't happen a lot,
and I was just it was a fun little thing to say.
But it wasn't like, because it fascinates me when comedians, because we're so rough with each other,
right.
When you go too far, like when someone crosses
I didn't know that
the
was
line.
good. There's always going to be this unspoken thing between old Hollywood and young Hollywood. And that's what's happening here.
And I'm old Hollywood.
Yeah, you're a legend.
By
classic.
the way, you're not any Hollywood.
You're
young internet.
Young Hollywood.
You've never been Hollywood.
But that is Hollywood.
No,
now.
it's young internet.
No, but that is Hollywood
still
now.
exists.
No one cares about your friends like Sandra Bullock. No one cares about them.
I'm just saying.
No one cares.
The thing where she wore the blindfold in the canoe got 50 million
what
views
was that,
more than
4 years ago.
I'm just saying.
Bird Box. You're bringing up Bird Box. The horror movie on Netflix? I mean, this is what you're...
But here's the difference. Here's what...
What about Perfect Strangers? That was fun, too.
You guys...
I'm 17 years old. I'm a 17-year-old TikToker. I evolve.
Why do you want to be the future Kevin Spacey? Stop hanging out with these young people, Tim. I am trying to protect you from the future cancellation.
I understand you want this to be a Sunset Boulevard where you're at the top of a stairwell and you're like, with one look, I'll do a multicam. I understand that. We will have Taylor Tomlinson getting in fun little skirmishes with people at a restaurant.
The reason
there will be laughter. We pump in. The people watching this show's brains have been broken.
The reason I need you to come early is because we shoot this on film.
Yeah, well, it's beautiful. And I respect that. We all know that you put a lot into everything you do. And I respect that.
I try too hard with the podcast,
But you put a lot into it, and that's okay.
Much.
That's okay.
I overthink it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't even know if I'm good at podcasting. That's the other thing.
I think you are, but... It's a very different thing. Like, you have celebrities on and you prepare and you do all this stuff, and I respect that. But it's like what we do. It's just a little different.
Because I'm insecure, Tim. I don't have the white man thing of I'm just like, who wouldn't want to hear me talk for 3 hours about anything? Like I'm not allowed to be boring. I have to be twice as good to get half as much respect.
Okay.
You disagree?
Maybe.
Well, how so?
I don't know. You have to be twice as good.
I mean,
to get half as much respect.
I just mean, you guys.
Is that a line from like a country song?
You guys can definitely
working 9 to 5. Nobody listening because I'm a woman. Is that true?
I'm just saying. Think about it. I was thinking about this the other day because I was like, how long am I going to do this podcast? Is there any proof in history that people want to listen to women talk for 3 hours a week?
Is it always their fault? Is it always the people's fault?
Has there ever been a famous female radio host? Terry Gross? Like, who?
I mean, I'm trying to think.
Women aren't famous for their
isn't that
soothing voices.
Well, what about half the country that are women that are not listening to those women?
Mm-hmm. That's great. Agree.
I mean, I like women. I listen to them.
I'm just saying, in the history of our entertainment,
right. Yes.
Who has been the female radio host? Because you talk about Howard Stern and whose footsteps you're following.
Well, there are big DJs, people like Angie Martinez on Hot 97.
Yeah.
There are people.
Downtown Julie Brown.
Yeah, there are
Kennedy.
There are people.
But we're digging.
Yeah, but who? I'm trying to assign blame for that, and I can't assign blame. You're saying it where we then, now that we've established that, we have to assign blame.
Yeah.
And we have to go, well, what? Who is at fault for this?
Toxic masculinity. Let's blame that.
Is it that?
It works.
Well, but then there's half the country's women.
No, no, agreed.
Right.
I was joking, but like when people are like, put out more, like do 3 shows a week like Joe does, I'm like, I feel like I'm good in small doses.
Right. But that's your own internal thing.
It might be my insecurity.
It's your internal thing. I mean, if I had guests, my show would be destroyed.
How?
Because by them. I don't have an interest in talking to Hillary Duff. I'm sure she's a lovely person. I don't know what
By the way, she doesn't have an interest in talking to you.
Great, and we're good. We're good. See, this is the thing with you. You're like, Hollywood doesn't care. And I'm like, we don't care. Me and my friends don't care. It's just a reality. We don't care.
Yeah.
None of us want to walk into a writer's room with people that couldn't make it as stand-ups and hear that our jokes aren't funny enough, or they need to be more sensitive or more whatever.
Yeah.
And then go to a network and have a network tell us this, and then it's got to go through sales and advertising and lawyers and legal. Yeah. We don't need any of that.
I mean, that'll go.
We really don't need any of that.
It's so true. I mean, I think the thing that we of the Hollywood is dead argument, I'm the first one to sort of make that argument. I mean, I guess I'm just like naive to a fault in that I still like Broadway and want to make a film. Like I still have that.
I don't think Hollywood's dead. I would never say like Hollywood's dead.
I still have a love of the art.
If you're a comedian, going online and building a fan base it makes a hell of a lot more sense than playing this game here. As a comedian, if you're 19 with a 6-pack and you're hot, get on Cobra Kai. Get on one of those shows. I'm 36. I don't care anymore. I don't want to talk to these showrunners. I don't want to talk to people that I wrote on the roast of Snoop. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. So it's and good.
I feel attacked.
No, it's not you, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like I'm tired.
TV shows are like, it is, you take a really talented, funny person with a lot of heat, you put them in a room with a bunch of people that are way less talented than they are, dilute their vision, sanitize them, and it's never as good. But so is there never going to be another Seinfeld? There's never going to be another...
There will, not from me. There might be another Seinfeld.
There's never going to be another,
because
Roseanne.
They are sitcoms that don't exist anymore. No one wants to watch them anymore. No one cares. Curb is a great show, right?
I mean, The Ranch is huge on Netflix, but okay.
But for who?
I'm just the numbers
are big. Do you know who watches The Ranch? Do you know the types of people?
The same people that listen to your podcast.
No, they don't.
It's a very right
the people that watch The Ranch are mongoloids. They're absolute orbs of flesh. They get home from Whataburger. They have blue hands and toes from circulation problems. They collapse on a couch and they just watch The Ranch. Good. There should be something for them. I'm not trying to steal that audience. I'm not trying to steal the audience of the Practical Jokers where 10 years later they still think it's a prank. Oh, look they really got each other. No, they didn't, dummy. Like, I don't want, those people can go be those people.
Yeah.
God bless them. I love the Jokers, but, I don't want a fan base of brain dead, zombies.
And I think for me, you're making me realize how insecure I am, because it's like podcasts, it's like there's nothing to protect you, like if you're on a show, you can be like, it's a little bit like you can blame, like as well as you can blame other people. Podcasts, you take all the blame, and I just am so afraid of the internet because they turn on people so fast.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like sometimes people's fan bases turn on them, you know?
Well, there's nothing you can do about that. People can say whatever they want about you, and people, can turn on you or can like you, and it's, But at the end of the day,
is this sustainable?
Networks,
is this all sustainable?
Are networks sustainable? Do you think they can't turn on you? You think Netflix can't turn on you? You think, how many instances have we seen?
Well, no, Hollywood
networks...
Hollywood is forgiving to a fault. You can fail for so many times in Hollywood, and they will keep writing you checks.
Depends who you are. Like, you worked your ass off, but you also were like a chosen person. Yeah. You got chosen. Now, you worked for it, but you got to realize you were a handful of people that were chosen. It's like, that's kind of what it is. Now, you worked your ass off for it, but at the end of the day, it's like, if you're not chosen, I went out with a pilot, didn't work. I went out, had Adam McKay producing something.
Because you didn't have me involved.
Didn't work. Maybe that's the case. How many times am I supposed to go through that? 15? 20, 30, or am I and live on the street while I do that? Like, why would I do that when I have all the means to entertain people at my disposal?
But you don't want to act, or you just don't want to.
We all do, but it's not possible. It's not possible because at the end of the day,
everyone I have called about to set up a show with you wants to do it and movie.
I understand that, but that's the and
you're shooting yourself in the foot.
And I appreciate it. No, if they want to do it, let's do it. And then we'll get to the end where they go, we thank you and we really appreciate this. We're not putting it on the air like
we're cutting you out of the entire. We're recasting you with Seth Rogen.
Well, I'm glad I spent 16 months doing this. That's the problem. I don't want to devote.
Let me ask you a question, which is like,
now Joe Rogan was the one who kind of gave me this advice. Now I know you're saying, oh, he's not that successful, and that's I get it.
Joe Rogan. He's
not famous. He has no money.
But here's what we got to remember about Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was famous from network television first.
Sure.
Joe Rogan is like was famous from Fear Factor.
How many people?
He had a MMA.
How's the rest of the cast of News Radio doing?
I'm just saying, Joe was famous before he started a podcast.
Your Honor, I rest, the state rests.
Can we stop pretending that Joe was like an open micer when he started his podcast? He was a household name when he started his podcast.
Do you think his podcast was what made him the name he is now, though?
Yes, of course. But he was famous when he started.
Would it have made more sense for him to just try to get sitcoms on the air every year?
No, back then it was different. But here's my question for you.
Yes.
As someone who is like super naive and probably dumb, and I bang my head against the wall, I stay in relationships.
None of that is true.
I stay in relationships longer than I should. I'm dumb. I'm naive. Tell me I'm wrong. But Hollywood is course correcting. They just want to do what makes them money. They're a dumb business. They're dumb. They're not smart people.
Right.
They're not making Black Panther 2 because they want to help equality and Black Lives Matter.
It makes them money.
They're doing it because it made money.
Right.
So as soon as they see what makes money, they will pivot and start changing. But
totally agree.
You guys are just so pissed off at Hollywood that you're just like, burn it all fucking down.
I'm not pissed off.
Because you hurt my feelings 5 years ago.
I'm not pissed off, but I'm also like, what's the show that I really see on TV that I want to be a part of? And I don't see any.
Interesting.
I don't see any shows where I go, man, like there's shows I like Succession and things like that I love, right? Amazing. That are great shows. But then I'm like, okay, where are who's blowing up from TV shows right now?
Yeah.
Who's getting a real fan base as a comedian from a TV show at the moment? I don't see anybody.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people making a living online. I see a lot of people getting fans online. I don't see anybody right now making. I know people with TV shows that are broke, and I know them, and they can't sell tickets.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't pay the way it used to.
It doesn't mean what it used to.
Well, for a stand-up comedian, if you're not playing yourself, you're not going to be able to move tickets. It's like Billy Gardell played a character in that Mike and Molly show. He should have played Billy Gardell. You'd have to play Tim Dillon.
Right. Yeah, and listen, I think maybe in a few years, I'm not against that. I save some money. We make another run at development, but like at the moment, I don't see the reason for it. That's why I'm getting out of LA because
going to Austin.
I'm going to Austin,
Tell
Texas.
me about it. Well, how did you made this decision without me?
Well, I made it in a 24-hour span of time because I called some very smart people, and a lot of them are out. And a lot of them are going, and they're all primarily internet people, and they're all going, we don't need to be here. The response to Elon Musk leaving the state can't be fuck Elon Musk, which is what
is Elon going to...
Correct.
Okay.
Gavin Newsom and the government here is basically like, yeah, fuck him. So if you're going to say fuck him, you're going to say fuck me. You're going to say fuck everybody. And the problem with that is it costs an exorbitant amount of money to live here. Yeah. The climate for entrepreneurs is horrible. The climate for people to live is getting worse every year. And you're spending a lot of money. And traditional Hollywood is not the bread and butter of anyone I know anymore.
I think we can all agree that my mental health is peaking, tip-top shape.
Peaking?
I think we can all say that I won mental health.
The peak of which mountain?
I think we can all agree that no one's mental health is more healthy than mine.
I agree with that. You wrote a book about it. Did you use BetterHelp?
I did not. BetterHelp, when we read these ads, I get so annoyed because I just get frustrated that I didn't have this when I was a teenager.
Can you just rewrite your book as a BetterHelp ad?
I mean, honestly, I love BetterHelp. You guys should subscribe to it, but I worry that my book becomes obsolete if you guys start using BetterHelp.
Yeah, truly.
This is how much I believe in BetterHelp. I'm losing money on my book sales driving you to BetterHelp.
Which is difficult as a licensed professional. BetterHelp is great because it matches you with your own licensed professional therapist. You can start communicating under 48 hours. And here's a fun fact. You can do it wherever you want because it's online.
Yeah.
So you can do it like drive-through of a Jack in the Box. Hold up the line. Get some help.
Get therapy while driving through Jack in the Box?
Yeah, great tacos. Go for it.
I think if somebody is getting therapy from BetterHelp while driving through Jack in the Box, they're good. They don't need a therapist. They know they have strong boundaries. They know what they need. They know who they are. They know their purpose in life.
Maybe they just want to chat.
No,
It's not self-help.
it's it's a wild time to drive down to a therapist. I don't want to go to a therapist right now and like get COVID in the waiting room.
Yeah, I want to talk to robot therapists on the computer. Real people that are talking to me through the computer. And the best thing about it is they offer, it's not only do they offer, but it is literally more affordable than traditional counseling. Did you know that?
Yeah. Well, traditional therapy is so exorbitant, it's like criminal.
Yeah, but not
This is what it should cost.
should.
You know what I'm saying?
And the response time, 48 hours?
Therapists have the gall.
Who responds in 48 hours?
Therapists have the gall. Think about this. Therapists have the gall to charge someone who is suffering. I am suffering. I have anxiety disorders. I am depression. Great. Come see me. I'm going to charge you $300 for 45 minutes. Like, you're making me sicker with your practice.
Yeah, we shouldn't charge sick people anything.
Yeah.
You ever been to a movie theater? Criminal. I'm already sad. I want to watch this movie. Visit BetterHelp.com/Whitney. That's better, H-E-L-P, and join the over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states.
I'm available.
Special offer for Good For You listeners. Get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/Whitney.
Love it. I feel like I've been clear about this. My first stand-up special, I talked about balls. My second stand-up special, I talked about. I've been talking about balls for 15 years.
So you also have built a career on balls, much like Manscaped.
But I have been asking, and Manscaped listened. We got it. You guys got to pull it together. The balls are a mess. You want us to put our heads down there, our tongues down there, but you're not making it very welcoming. Help us help you.
You're not a cat. Your tongue's not that rough.
You got to manscape yourself. You got to manscape yourself.
You trim, clean up, shave, deodorize, moisturize.
But also, yes, but only with Manscaped.
Exactly. They offer all those things.
No, I've seen guys try to do it on their own with the hotel razor. It looks like herpes. They don't know how to shave against the grain, with the grain, whatever it is. I don't know what I'm looking at here. Like, you have to there's a certain way to shave.
Yeah, and it is not with the hotel razor. That's for sure.
Yeah, the pubes down there are coarse.
If you go to wash away, you take your little towel, your little white towel, go to wash away all your little pube splinters, and it's covered in blood. Something's wrong.
The days are over. Your glory days are over, guys. Your balls are no longer allowed to smell like scallops. They're no longer allowed to smell like ceviche. They're no longer allowed to have weird red bumps. Like, those days are over. Women have options now. We have dating apps. We can we're no longer living in villages where there's two options for suitors. Okay? We have other options now. Get your dick in order. And you make those balls lickable, suckable. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So the performance package comes with the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0, the Weed Whacker, the ear and nose hair trimmer, performance boxer's brief, and a travel bag, all of which very nice.
This is also just an excellent gift. The guy that I'm dating has started pilfering my Manscaped stuff that we keep here because they sponsor us, he starts like stealing it. Guys love it.
Oh, he's a thief.
He's a thief, yes.
Great. Not a red flag. What are you holding up there?
You know what else? Here. It's a great
ball wipes.
It's a great gift. Great gift.
Try one out.
Okay. These are ball wipes. Honestly, this is the least you can do, guys. This is literally the least.
You can carry those in your pocket. Just refresh.
Ooh. Clean your balls with this.
Yeah. You wipe your fingers off after hot wings.
Honestly.
Why not just go right down to the balls, do them too?
Thank you. I don't think you guys are not flexible enough to smell your own balls. I get it. But I'm telling you, they're putrid. They're swampy. They're chowdery. It's dank. These wipes, solved.
This ad is about building confidence.
Mm-hmm.
The bundle also comes with a crop preserver, ball deodorant, which we have. Look at this ball deodorant.
Ooh, yes.
Try that out.
I love.
Look, there's even instructions. It's first one, take a shower. Great. Men don't know. Then towel off. It tells you to dry off. Every instruction a man needs is on this bottle.
No excuses. You have absolutely no excuse anymore. Because a lot of guys are like, well, I don't want to use that. It's a girly product. It's a this, that. You have no excuse anymore.
I mean, what else? Other than putting a map to your own bathroom on there, they've helped you out completely.
There's no excuses anymore. Manscaped, you guys are nailing it. Thank you, Manscaped.
Yeah, you get 20%
You guys
off with...
have rescued my chin.
Look at this. This is the little newspaper they send you so you can lay it down and all your little hairs get caught on it. So you don't have to sweep your floor up.
Oh, nice. I'm
nice?
telling you that balls look like elephant ears. I mean, why do they look
How
so
manly is
old?
that?
You guys got to put lotion on them. You got to take care of them. You got to protect them.
How manly is this? You don't even read the news? You just groom over top of it? You just shave your pubes off over the news?
Love.
20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use code Whitney. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code Whitney. Thanks, Manscaped, for making our winter wieners look so good.
Did you entertain going back to New York?
No. When you leave New York, you're done.
Yeah, really?
Joan Didion, the whole thing.
Oh.
Goodbye to all that. When you're done, you're done.
You're done.
When you're done, you're done.
So true.
When you're done with New York, you're done. And I know it because I go back and I go, never.
Can't do
never
it the way
again.
I used to.
Never again. Doesn't mean...
I can't go to the grocery store every day.
Yeah, it's also like I've always considered myself a person who, like, I'm a New Yorker. I love New York, but I also, there's a strain of New Yorker, new strain.
No, stop saying new strain.
There's a strain of New Yorker that's very annoying, and their world seems very small. You know, Giannis Pappas, who I love, very funny comedian, but he was in LA, and I drove him from like Palm Springs up to the mountains, and he's like, I can't believe like it gets so much colder up here, and I'm like, oh, you're an idiot. Like, people from New York like are morons. Some of them, they like don't understand anything that goes on outside
Andrew
of an 8 mile
Schultz can hardly
radius.
drive.
Yeah,
when Andrew comes out here, he can't like figure out how to function.
New York, man.
But here's what I will say.
It's a small bubble. It's the greatest city in the world, but it's like, guys, enough.
I just am worried. As someone that is, my mother's from Texas, a place called Sherman, Texas, near Fort Worth. I've spent a lot of time in Texas.
Yes.
And I've spent a lot of time with you. And
right. I understand that.
As someone that grew up in New York, it's gonna be a sobering experience for you.
I'm gonna be in LA. I'm gonna travel.
I know, but you in Austin you're gonna be hot. You're gonna be sunburned. You're gonna be grumpy. You're gonna be.
I'm gonna be that here.
Annoyed.
I'm gonna be miserable here.
Okay.
I'm gonna be miserable wherever I live.
I mean,
that's part of the deal.
Wherever you go,
I'm gonna
there
be
you
miserable.
are.
I'm just gonna save money and like, listen, I'm gonna be able to get on a plane, go to New York, get on a plane, go to LA.
Okay.
Get on a plane, hopefully go to London, wherever I want to go.
But you know that Austin, it's still in Texas.
Yeah,
you are aware of that. You know that. I mean, as a man who will only eat with like gilded forks, and you'll be eating out of food trucks in Austin.
The rich are there.
Baby, that's Dallas. You should be. I think
you have a point.
You should be in Dallas.
I will say
you're going to Austin.
I'm going 40 minutes out of Austin by a lake.
You're going to a place that is like. Tries to be poor on purpose because it's hip.
But I'm not going to go near Austin. I'm going to be I'm in the woods. I'm in the woods.
Okay.
I'm like, get on a car.
This doesn't feel mentally healthy. You alone in the woods is not a good thing. You alone with your own thoughts.
I'm not saying the FBI won't be keeping tabs.
I don't think this is good. I don't like this. You do need to be around people. When you're left to your own devices with someone that you pay enabling you, I think I'm worried.
I will be, should I pay 10 to enable? That's the problem. I don't pay 25 people to enable me. I think it's a great move. I think it's going to be the move for comedy. I agree.
Yeah, press me.
I really believe that.
I will be there.
I really believe
If
that.
if Rogan's opening that club, I will be there. I'll
Yeah.
have a place there. But it's just like, are you thinking about doing this like, since we all don't have to live where we think we had to live before? Is it like permanent? Or are you like, I'm going to do this for 6 months?
Hey man, I don't know what in life is permanent.
Never say,
so
hey,
I don't
man,
know
to
if in 3 to 5 years maybe I'm like I don't want to do a podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I want to make enough and save enough money.
Yeah.
And I can't do it in this state. They want all your money here.
Yeah.
And I don't know I don't know. It's kind of shitty. That's the reason, but it's like it really is.
But
And
when you're renting, you're not, you know what I'm saying? For 6 months, you're not buying, you're renting.
yeah, I'm renting for 6 months, then looking around Austin, and then just settling down. Mm-hmm. And then I want my base to be in a state where I'm not being robbed.
Yeah.
And then I can go all over the country and do whatever I want.
Fucked up. I mean, it is.
I mean, listen, if you were paying these kind of taxes, but you were like, California's an idyllic paradise. There's no homeless. Everybody's happy. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm getting really hit over the head, but you know what? Things are working out. They can't get a vaccine to people. People are waiting outside the Forum like they're waiting for Billie Eilish concerts to get a syringe. This is an embarrassment. It's become kind of an embarrassment.
Is California just too big to be governed?
It's too big to be governed. It's a country.
What happened?
Gavin Newsom's just out of touch. He's an effete wine merchant who's out of touch. This guy owns vineyards.
Am I a conspiracy theorist that I think a lot of the decisions he makes is just to spite his ex, Kimberly Guilfoyle?
Yeah,
I
it's very
feel like they're
possible.
all
Yeah,
just
they're
in
just
some
fighting.
weird kinky fight.
It's a weird.
He just keeps getting more progressive just to like piss her off. Like
Yeah,
I feel like
it's an
I feel
odd-
like it's like War of the Roses and we're in
Yeah.
between this like toxic relationship.
At the end of the day, it's like I just want to go somewhere where I can just start to think about retirement. Mm-hmm. I'm 36. It's time to start thinking about wrapping it up.
It's just such a hard thing to wrap my head around that like this business is over.
I know.
Isn't it wild?
But I think it's better to wrap your head around that than your car around a tree. Like many of the people that stay in this town are they're going to be crazy people.
Can we talk about the my mental deterioration over the past 8 months?
It's been frightening.
It's a little
been
alarming.
frightening. It's been wild to watch for a lot of us.
It's been hard. It's, comedians, like we are designed to get up and perform.
Yes.
Us not performing for 9 months. Like 9 months ago, we were like, this is going to be a couple months. I feel like
We're in the new normal.
I feel
It's
like this
crazy.
has like changed my brain.
Yes. Well, I think that you're going through a lot of things you're processing a lot of things. You're like, oh, the life I thought was here is not here.
Yeah.
And it's not anywhere. It's not in Austin. It's nowhere.
Yeah.
The life before this it's going to be like 9/11 where it's like every time you got on a plane afterwards, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
After this, everything kind of changes. Nothing's going to go that back to I think things will go back to normal eventually, but you're still going to be sitting somewhere and somebody's going to go, and you're going to go. Like it's going to be different.
like
Travel's going to be different. Going around the world is going to be different. Touring is going to be different. Productions are going to be different. Comedy is going to be different.
Here's what I'll say about the comedy stuff, though. Like, I'm booking outdoor tours. Like,
Sure.
like here's my problem. Comedians I think we're kind of standing in our own way a little bit in terms of shows because we want everything to be the way that it was. Like, comedians will complain about fucking anything, do you know? So it's like these outdoor shows are totally working. It's totally doable. Why?
In the spring and summer.
Yeah, but I'm just. But
And
we
parts
did.
of
We did San Francisco in November outside. There were heating lamps. It was fine. Like,
Okay.
I think maybe it's because I came up in LA, and in LA you do bowling alleys. I was doing like Chipotle's and fucking. We used to do stand-up shows at Jumbo's Clown Room, which was like a strip club with dwarves and shit. Like, I'm used to doing shows in shitty outdoor craziness.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, New York club
yeah.
comics are like, I need a club. I need it to be inside. I need the ceilings to be low. Like, why can't
well,
we
that's
just
the best way. But that's the highest form of the art of stand-up comedy is a small club,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, I mean, sure, we'll do outdoor shows if you have to, but nobody
Yeah.
wants to do that.
Yeah.
But what are we going to do? Just live outside? You know what I mean? Like, if we can't do indoor comedy, what can we do inside?
Yeah.
Like,
but why
are we
can't
just
we
gonna-
adapt? Why can't we adapt? Why are we so bratty and
Because
like
Because
we're
the
such
whole-
babies?
Well, it's not that we're
We have to do it the
babies.
way we always did it.
It's not even that. It's just that like most outdoor things are not
Horrendous.
ideal. They're not ideal.
Look, here's the thing though. When I went and did the outdoor shows with cars, it was very weird for the first like 5 minutes. It was like they're honking. I was like, this is awful. I hate
but
this.
I don't want to.
5 minutes in, I was fucking like, I get it. Okay, I know
Yeah,
what
but
to
we
do.
have evolved. It's called podcasting. I don't want to
Yeah.
perform for cars. I can just be funny for an hour or 2 hours a week.
Well, your fan base
on
doesn't
the
have cars.
internet. Man, I'm sorry my fan base isn't my other celebrity friends. I apologize. I apologize. Jennifer Aniston and Sandra. Who are these people? It's over. It's over,
Well,
ladies.
explain to me TikTok. Is TikTok real?
Yeah.
Benton makes a very good point. People have 8 million followers on TikTok. The same person will have like 100,000 on Instagram. What's happening?
Because everybody on Instagram is an old witch, like your friends. And on TikTok, everybody's just hot as fuck, and we don't care. And we don't care about old people and what they're about. Like, we're about positivity and light and show and being healthy and showing our dicks. That's what we're about. So I'm not upset at old school people.
What is the most important
like you
platform
and
right now?
Dan Rather.
According to you.
I don't mind that. What is the most important platform right now? I'm on Clubhouse all the time.
Okay.
We're talking with other venture capitalist people in the business.
Do y'all know about Clubhouse?
Clubhouse is where it's at. That's where I am, and people call. I do an investment advice every night on there. I did investment advice last night.
Really?
I give out investment advice.
Well,
to people.
Interesting.
Correct.
Is that the future?
For me as an investor, yes.
Clubhouse.
I think so.
Is Clubhouse going to replace?
Ask me investment advice right now. I'll give it to you for free.
Should I invest in the rowing machine, Hydro? It's Peloton, but it's a rowing machine.
Whatever you do, you have to remember that
Kevin Hart.
kindness is strength.
I'm sorry?
Kindness is strength.
I'm not following.
Speed. Do you understand?
Yep. Nope.
Well, I guess I can lead a horse to water. So what I'm just saying is, like, I give advice that you need to know a little bit about the market to even get.
I don't
like
know.
High level.
I am like, honestly, I like to be really transparent with it. I do not understand how the stock market works.
I think you want to invest your money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I tell people to do. That's kind of the linchpin of my advice.
Is
invest.
Clubhouse going to start being moderated? That's the big thing.
By who?
Like, I mean, is somebody going to come in and say, because it's going to go full Q any minute now.
No, it's not.
You don't think?
I don't think so.
Can you explain to me QAnon for our fans? Since it's
4 months late. I love this. This is when you know you're on like an elderly person's podcast. They're like, can you explain to me QAnon and how did Trump get elected?
No, I want to, because I don't like to talk about politics. I like to talk about things
QAnon's a batshit conspiracy
but I'm saying,
theory.
I like to talk about things after the dust has settled, because I don't like to be in the rigmarole.
No, why be riding the wave?
I don't want to be in the drama. I don't like being relevant.
Agreed.
I don't like being relevant. I like going, that's all
Outside.
done. You guys can scuffle, and then I'm going to talk about this later. But can I tell you something?
Yeah.
That's what comics used to do.
Really?
Comics used to have the final say. Shit would happen. News would happen. Someone would shoot a special, and they go, this is what happened this year, and I have the final say. That's what they would do with their stand-up
People also used to
specials.
rub two sticks together to make fire. What are we doing? Like, now it's in the moment. There was no internet. Now, if you don't have the take while it's happening, it's kind of over.
Yeah, comedians used to have some time to digest it, write some jokes about it, put out a special, and go, this is my take.
They can still do that, but I think it's more important now than ever to be like funny all the time.
Yeah, all the time, relentlessly.
If you're hot on Instagram, you got to be hot all the time. If you're smart, you got to be smart all the time. If you're funny, you got to be funny all the time. Why? If not, the audience of people who is used to what you're doing goes, they go somewhere else.
It's interesting because it's just such a skill.
Nobody's waiting on anyone special. Mm-hmm. Even the biggest comedians in the world. Nobody's waiting on your special. Nobody's got their feet up and going, when's that special coming out? Nobody cares anymore. If it's out and it's great, then people love it and they'll share it. But nobody's waiting. Nobody's waiting on season 4 Ozark. No one cares. I never need to see, and I liked the show, but I never need to see another episode again. I'm over it. I'm done. Netflix can't do this where it's like 3 years later. It's
Yeah. Our attention span is too short. We're all too spoiled now.
We're all too spoiled. We all want it now.
And we're all just like addicts. I mean, but where does this go? I mean, I'm the super sad true love story because I'm an old fossil that's still adapting books to be television shows. Like, this is a book that takes place in 2050. Like, where do we go from? Everyone's going to have their own channel soon.
Well, yeah, everyone's going to have their own platform, their own channel. The people that are interesting or crazy enough or funny enough or good looking enough are going to get attention. It's kind of like what it was. It's just the same thing it was, right? What's interesting to people hasn't changed. What's attractive to people hasn't changed. What's funny to people really hasn't changed. people's tastes are kind of similar. It's the way that they get it. People eat the same food they ate 50 years ago. They just get it very different ways. What are you getting on Postmates? What are they bringing over? Steak and potatoes? It's my grandfather.
Are we going to
ate.
start doing Postmates comedy?
No, but I mean,
door-to-door comedy?
This is what my grandfather ate. So it's just a new mechanism to get the same thing. That's what I'm trying to get all you people to understand, you know?
Is there something to be said, I'm just devil's advocate here, for a little mystery, a little enigmatic? You don't need to see me all the time. See me some of the time. It's just like too much access.
Right.
But maybe it's because I'm a woman and women are grading.
Yes, man. Yes.
When there's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, that.
It's just the Norma Desmond thing where she goes, it's the pictures that have gotten small.
I'm just saying, I think you guys can talk for 10 hours a week and people love you. I think if I talk for 10 hours a week, I'm like, get death threats. I think it's a different business model for a guy.
I don't know about that.
Maybe. Tell me I'm wrong. Maybe this is internalized sexism. Maybe I'm playing the victim, but I do not think the same business model works for a female comic. Female comics are the most loathed people on the I'm like the most loathed person.
Yeah, but why are they wrong? That's the question, right? Because, like, I understand what you're saying, but what is that, by the way?
What?
That bar.
What? Oh, this is
it a Rice Krispie
This
treat?
is from a month ago. You're not eating that. Do you want a bar?
No, I didn't know what it was. It
I
looked
just
like
bought
a
you a
Rice
beautiful lunch.
I know it looked like a Rice Krispie treat.
Yeah, you're not eating
There was
that.
no cake. Anyway.
I know. He doesn't make cakes. I asked him.
I know, and no one does in LA, I guess. The point is,
No one eats cake
I think
in LA.
people would love to hear you talk. I think that it has nothing to do with gender, and I think it's just about betting on yourself.
I mean, people.
What is the root for a female comic right now, do you think? This is a very interesting question.
It's a great question.
Because you're probably right that it is different for men and women.
It is just different. I
What
mean, it's
is
like, look,
yeah.
Dak Shepard and I talk about very similar. People want to hear a guy be vulnerable. I mean, I think maybe I'm wrong, but is there a cap on how popular a woman can get with just talking?
Oprah. Sally
But that
Jesse,
was an hour.
Sally
and it was
Jesse
visual.
Raphael.
It was visual. That was.
Do an hour visual on YouTube.
Yeah, but
This is visual.
that was also a different time when there were 3 channels. You didn't have any choices.
Agreed, but I mean, there are women.
Radio. Is there any woman who has spoken 10 hours a week that we're like, can't wait to listen? I think Prairie Home Companion. I think Howard Stern. I think, Kimmel
Whatever.
and Carolla were doing that radio show.
Yeah, listen.
Women get to go, like, be the ones that laugh at the jokes. The Robin on the Howard.
You're not wrong, but I think that there's successful podcasters.
Yeah.
There are people that are women, and then radio is kind of a dead medium.
I'm just curious how long this podcast boom is going to go.
It's on the edge of over.
Okay.
The good ones will stay around.
Yeah.
The ones that are funny, the ones that evolve, the ones that are people just. It is really obvious to people who's doing this because they're bored. Who's doing it because
Or
there's
who's doing it because they just have like weird FOMO or just.
Who's doing it because an agent or manager called you and went, you got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very obvious to people. If your heart and soul's in it and you love to do it, people know that. People can pick that up. People can also pick up anything that you do where you're, whether you're inauthentic or you're just kind of like, hey, I'm just going through the motions. There's a lot of people that are like, I have a podcast now because I guess I got to have a podcast. It's like if you're into it and you do it and you love doing it and you build that relationship with your fans, which is the best. Podcast fandom is the best relationship ever with your fans.
Yeah, it really is.
They love you. They're like your family. They talk to you. They update you on things that are going on in their life. Some of them are scary, and yes, it'll kill you. But at the end of the day, it's so much better than having people that maybe they're on a couch or they're in a break room and they turn on a TV and you're there and they're like, okay. And you're playing some character and they're like, oh yeah, you're funny as that character. And they don't care anything about,
You're lying to me. You're pretending. What are we doing?
Right.
To
so
figure this up.
people are, I just think, but I do think that podcast for podcast's sake is on its way out.
Well, a lot of people are just doing it as their like plan B.
It was like when I was in mortgages, I was sitting at a diner and I gave the waiter my card. I said, I'm in mortgages. And then he took out a card and he said, I'm also in mortgages. And he's a guy who was giving me a pizza bagel. So I said, oh, everyone in the world is doing this. It's 6 months from over. And I was right. I think this is 6 months from who cares. Not every show, mind you. But I mean,
So a lot of the people
novelty,
that, a lot
novelty of it.
and a lot of the famous people who just like did podcasts because they could
Going away.
and are not doing numbers. It's
Correct.
it's actually because I need to like compare things in order to understand. It's like similar to when in television, back when we did television, the sweeps week, you'd try to cast like a very famous person, like a stunt casting,
to get the numbers,
and it wouldn't get the numbers because
right.
that's not what people are. They're tuning in for the original cast, not the celebrity.
Right.
Like it never worked.
Right.
You know,
right.
it's like for a minute, movies and TV shows were trying to cast like YouTube influencers to be on TV shows, thinking the audience would follow them. They're like, no, we're not following you there. But
Right.
there's something interesting about when celebrities go on try to do a podcast and no one gives a shit. It's like
Right.
we didn't sign up to hear you talk for 3 hours. You haven't proven to us that that's your skill.
Right.
We want you to sit there and look pretty or be funny or do whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And people don't follow them. So there are a lot of celebrities that start podcasts and they're not doing well.
Well, it's also when they're allowed to go and do other things, they're going to do them, right? So if you're allowed to make a movie or a TV show, or you're allowed to go do stand-up, or you're allowed to go do, or if you're allowed to go on a vacation,
Yeah.
like, whenever you're allowed to do the things you wanted to do, a lot of people are going to go, fuck this, I'm not doing this podcast. I have a job.
Yeah.
People just want to feel like they have a job. So a lot of these actors and actresses are like, well, I don't have a job right now. I got to do something.
Yeah.
And their agent manager's like, hey, man, you got to stay relevant.
But and a lot of them are starting podcasts and deciding to turn them into like political preach sessions also.
Yeah, of
It's like, what
course.
are you doing?
Because that's how to be relevant.
Huh.
That's how to be relevant. The politics is overtaken Hollywood. The stars of politics, Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro, are much more famous than Hollywood actors.
Can I ask you about Candace Owens?
Yes.
Is she a performance artist? Like,
Anyone in media at her level is,
Yeah.
and she certainly is.
Yeah.
She's smart.
Like she
yeah.
like I always feel like when people get like annoyed about her and Ann Coulter, I'm like, don't buy into this. This is all just.
I mean, you know what it
Performance art.
is? It's like she is capitalizing on what you have to do. You don't have a choice. The William F. Buckley or whatever intellectual conservatism you want to imagine doesn't work. He who shrieks the loudest is going to get the attention. So you got to say wild shit all the time to even get the plane off the
Yeah,
ground.
it's so true.
And that's what these people are all doing. So it's like, is she an artist, performance artist? Yeah. Is she any more of one than AOC? No. That's what they all have to do. Our politicians now are governing off Twitter. They want to get retweets. They want to go viral. I mean, this is absurd. This is sick, but this is where we're at. So anybody that levels that charge at her, like, oh, she's a grifter, she's this, she's that, it's like she's existing in the climate that we have.
Yeah, right.
It's what it is.
I hate a racket. You know me. I'm like I'll return something that was $7.
Are you calling student loan debts rackets?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, that
I
would
am.
be just clarification.
I don't
for
like
the listeners.
I don't like getting bamboozled. Are we allowed to say that word?
Bamboo.
Yeah. Someone look it up. Am I canceled? I'm just saying I don't like a racket. And
Student loans are terrible.
terrible.
I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to them.
Mm-hmm.
At 19 years old,
How am I supposed
I
to know?
did think I needed $30,000
Yeah. But at 19
for
years old,
ramen noodles.
I just think they got you hook, line, and sinker. You're 19 years old. You're like, yeah, I'm going to be able to pay that off. Cardi B,
Yeah.
look how rich she got by showing. You think you're going to be able to afford
Because
it.
you're going to have a degree.
But
And you're
you-
like, I'll have a degree, so I'll get a job. If I have a job, I'll have money. If I have money, I can pay these student loan debts off. Here's a surprise. You have none of that.
Truly.
Fun fact.
And all the jobs that I trained for no longer exist. Now I have all these student loans and I'm paying off this college that taught me stuff that I can't even use.
Yeah, exactly. Because
now it's obsolete.
Because I didn't go to school to be a doctor, a lawyer, or a teacher, so everything else is pointless. What am I, a historian? This is old.
Student loans, it's a hot
There's no
topic.
money in that.
It's a hot topic. Bernie Sanders is talking
It's a
about
hot
it.
topic.
And we're talking about Earnest.
Earnest. Yeah, we should mention them.
Mm-hmm.
Earnest. Earnest is they offer low rate student loan refinancing. So basically, they make it really easy and flexible.
If you're
to
drowning
pay
in
off your
student loans, Earnest will rescue you. This is an amazing company. With Earnest, you get radically flexible payments and you can pick your loan term. By refinancing, you can reduce your loan term.
You can also combine multiple loans, which is really awesome because student loans, if you ever notice, if you go pay them off, they're broken up into like 15 separate loans.
Oh my God, they make it so complicated.
They do. Earnest is offering our listeners a $100 cash bonus. Refinance your student debt at earnest.com/Whitney. Terms and conditions apply. Now, Earnest is giving our listeners a $100 bonus. Refinance your student loans at earnest.com/Whitney. Terms and conditions apply. Once again, you get a $100 cash bonus when you visit earnest.com/Whitney to refinance your student loans. Not available in all states. Terms and conditions apply. Visit earnest.com/Whitney for more details. Terms and conditions apply. Earnest Student Loan Refinancing made by Earnest Operations, LLC, NMLS number 1204917, California Finance Law License number 6054788, 303 2nd Street, Suite 401, North San Francisco, California, 94107. Visit earnest.com/license for a full list of licenses.
You did go to college. Benton, Valentine's Day is coming up. What are you getting me? Are you my Valentine?
Well, according to this ad, an erection. I mean, it's a weird time to bring this question up, don't you think?
I just...
Since we're talking about Roman.
Well, we're talking about Roman. We're talking about hard dicks.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day is coming up, and that's what I would like. A hard dick in a box. Okay?
All right.
How hard is it? Do it.
I could probably... we could probably make that happen.
Valentine's Day is coming up. For a lot of guys, it's pressure. I know. You got to get it up. You got to deliver.
First of all, you have to remember the date.
Yes.
Very difficult.
Right.
You have to get a gift.
Yes. Guys can remember Super Bowl dates, but Valentine's Day,
you have to go into a flower
Guys
shop.
Guys can remember how many
rings
home bases Mickey Robinson made in the 20s.
Yeah.
But they can't remember February 14th every year. Every year. You
can remember the amount of rings another man wears, but you can't buy one for Valentine's Day. Very confusing.
But Valentine's Day is stressful. I'm the first person to say it is a totally socially constructed capitalist conspiracy shit show. You can never win on Valentine's Day. It's just too much pressure. It's like New Year's Eve. It's just like, it's never going to live up to the hype. You're going to get flowers. Oh, you got me flowers. That's so unoriginal. Chocolates. Oh, that's so unoriginal. It's just like, I just feel like guys can't win on this day until now. You know how you can win? A hard dick that works.
Valentine's Day is for you guys. It's for you boys. And with Roman, you don't have to worry about dealing with ED because Roman's got you covered. You can get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for erectile dysfunction all in the comfort and privacy of your home, which is the only place, honestly, I would want to talk about ED.
Because here's what I'll say. Having had experience with this, it's so complicated because when a guy feels pressure to perform, the girl starts to get insecure, you think it's your fault. You start getting upset and crying, and I'm like sitting there in lingerie that I got off Amazon that's probably already giving me tetanus. Like, I'm already upset. You know, it's just...
I love the idea of pressure to perform like you're putting on a Broadway play. Like you're...
We don't talk about, like, men, the unrealistic expectations we have for men in the bedroom. We only talk about the women. Men have pressure, too.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
What is it?
It's not fair. It's not fair, and... if I'm not hot enough for you, buy this product.
Yeah.
I'm talking directly to my lover.
Hard penises are for everyone, as we've learned here. For a limited time, get up to $35 off your first month of ED treatment. Order by 210 for guaranteed delivery by Valentine's Day. Just go to getroman.com/Whitney to get started. That's getroman.com/Whitney.
I don't know if I'm moving to Austin. I want to get back to our fight.
Be a venture capitalist.
Because I do feel like we are the Ross and Rachel of the pandemic.
What a reference.
We are the Scully and Mulder. I can do this all day.
I know, and I love those shows. You don't understand that I appreciate that era of Hollywood. I love it. I watched all of those shows.
Yeah.
I watched Friends, Frasier, Seinfeld, Just Shoot Me. I watched Melrose Place. I watched NYPD Blue.
I still have this thing in my heart where and maybe it's because it's like I'm sad and
Dude, I love the Emmys. I used to watch the Emmys.
I love the family. Like walking onto a set, you have an instant family. That's so pathetic.
I used to watch SNL I used to watch Letterman's monologue every night. I loved all of that shit. I grew up watching the Dana Carvey show, and then I watched it all, and I just right now it's very different. But I loved it.
I'm doing a red carpet tomorrow on Zoom.
I mean, at a certain point, we got to say, hey, let's buy a ranch in Austin, Texas. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like, who are you even interviewing on this red carpet on Zoom?
But Texas is very dusty. I don't know how you're
keep trying to find the LA's. LA is a litter box. Texas is dusty. I mean, LA is literally.
You are one of the most delicate
Brilliant.
people I know. Delicate people I know. You appreciate the finer things in life. Texas is. I'm just saying, you're gonna.
Well, there are planes, there are trains, there's automobiles, and if I don't like something, I can go and do that thing and then go back. I'm going to live in a place where I have greenery. I have a nice big pool.
Okay.
It's going to be beautiful. I'm going to have a podcast studio. I'm going to have a green screen to do videos and a production capability. Rogan's going to have a club.
Yes.
I mean, why not?
When is that going to open?
I don't know.
Because
Before these.
Before?
Probably before the Comedy Store and the Improv.
Yeah. Something that really bothers me about you is you've always pretty much been right about this stuff. So what's going to happen this year? Are we touring in the fall?
In clubs. In clubs. I don't know if theaters come back. But maybe, I think, hopefully clubs. At half to 75% capacity. We have a mixture of herd immunity. It depends on what happens with these strains and if we get better with treatments and mitigation and things like that. I think I was a person where I was going, this is all going to go back to normal. I'm now becoming a person that is starting to believe.
No, you've broken. You've fully broken.
Yeah, no, I'm starting.
You've gone rogue.
I'm starting to believe that to be a survivor, you have to accept the world's never going back to what it was.
Right.
Never.
You started wearing beanies. I mean, you look like you you look like a rogue homeless person.
I'm here to tell you the truth. The world's never going back to the way it was. You have to adapt and evolve and survive. And so many people are going to fight that tooth and nail because all the time they do. And they become dinosaurs and they go extinct. And that's what it is. It's going to be, dude, people go to Miami, people go to Austin, New York, LA. Dude, it's been done.
Yeah.
Who cares? I mean, truly, who cares? No one can even defend. You're the only one who's even tried. Everyone else I called was like, yeah, good, I'm leaving too.
I mean,
you're the only one. You come from the golden age, the golden era.
Bill Burr's staying.
Great.
Sebastian's probably staying.
Yeah, but guys that make $25 million a year don't have any advice for me.
Yeah.
That's the reality. If you want to make money and you're like desperate, you talk to the person who has a job, not the guy that owns like 5 companies.
Right.
Because his advice is going to be like when I first came to LA, I'm like trying to lose weight. Rogan's like, go to Chef Mom, go to trainer, build a gym. And it's like, you got to talk to the person who lost 20 pounds and they go, oh, well, how about eating like 3 times a day or whatever it is. So Bill Burr's a genius. Sebastian's a genius. They're the greatest ever. And of course they'll stay, and they should. People like me at the stage of my career I'm at, I'm like, there's no downside to getting out of here and seeing what's up.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Yeah. I mean, those guys will.
I'm going to miss you. You're my only.
I know, but I'll be back a lot.
Friend left.
I'll be back a lot.
Canceled.
I'll be back a lot. And you'll be in Austin. People are going to live in a bunch of different places. That's what's going to come out of this. People are going to be transient. Suburbs are back. Transience is back. People that are like, I don't want to commit myself to any one area ever.
Question: why are your fans so hot? Every hot.
A lot of them are attractive.
It's weird. Every hot guy I know loves you. What is that?
Because they want to.
Like male models
be me. They secretly want to be overweight with a skin condition.
Like, what is that? Every weird, random hot guy that I dated on Raya will be like, dude, I love Tim Dillon. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm thankful for any and all fans that I have.
I'm definitely getting worried about your ascent.
Well, and that's been obvious to a lot of people. But we all respect the silent film stars. We all respect the golden age. We all respect, you know what I mean?
No.
We get it. We understand it, Have you seen Sunset Boulevard?
I have.
Yeah. It's like you wander into a set and you're like, I don't know why I'm frightened. I know my way around here. Everyone's like, Mrs. Cummings.
Well, you have to understand.
Mrs. Cummings, it's quarantine. You must leave the studio.
You have to understand that as someone that tooth and nail clawed my way to figure out this business, and I finally know how to do it.
Yeah, but you did.
And everyone's like, now go do this business that you don't understand at all.
You succeeded.
And then everyone in the comments is saying you're a cunt on YouTube, but keep doing it. I'm like, I kind of preferred when the lawyers told me I couldn't make that joke.
People are gonna say mean.
Do you know what I'm
things.
saying? It's
Yes,
like you guys are like, it fucking sucks to do sitcoms. Lawyers are telling you can't make jokes. I'm like, yeah, well, I just did Rogan's podcast and now I'm getting death threats.
Yeah.
So sitcoms actually, I'd rather fight with lawyers.
Well, I think you've succeeded so much that you can kind of take a chill pill. You've done it.
Yeah, but we can't do that.
Well, I know. I'm not
We're
saying
addicts.
I'm not saying take a chill
Workaholic
pill.
addicts.
But like you've succeeded in ways that were unimaginable to the young girl that moved to LA, right?
Maybe.
I mean, unimaginable success you've had. So at a certain point, you got to go, I did it.
Not successful enough to get Tim Dillon to show up on time for his podcast. Clearly. Don't have that kind of success.
Yeah, it was scheduling. But
Sunday, 10 a.m. Couldn't make it work.
I
Unbelievable.
think at a certain point, you just have to say, like, do what you enjoy. That's the ticket. That's the ticket. Don't worry about what other people say. Don't worry about comments. Don't worry about any of that. What do you really enjoy? Do that.
Yeah.
That's the ticket. You've earned the right to do that. You've won. So now winning means do what you want. That's the move. That's it.
What's going to happen? You're going to go to Austin.
Yeah.
You're going to go nuts. You're going to hate it. You're
don't
going to
think
come
I'm-
crawling back and come live with me.
I don't
3
think-
months. I give him till
That sounds like a nightmare. I'd rather be covered in
May.
black widows in the middle of a ditch in Texas than come crawling back to Los Angeles with you and have you lecture like, I'm hosting an Emmy after party on Zoom. Lisa Kudrow is going to be there. You must put on powder. Get your Instagram story ready. What? What? She's at the top of the stairs, you know? She's going to shoot me like at the end of Sunset Boulevard. She's just going to shoot me with a gun, and then her dogs are going to eat her. And then we're all going to have to be like, man, no one saw that coming except anyone with eyes.
I mean, I definitely think the hair needs to go back.
Whitney,
Because
please.
I don't.
Please,
I know.
God.
I definitely, as soon as the hair started, my brain. That's when my
It's
brain
just
broke.
probably not natural to have the dye by the brain.
By the, I mean, seeping into.
How
my-
many things have you done? You've done pink, you've done green.
I've done pink. I did blue, and now this is blue and purple.
Yeah.
Comedians are meant to be doing
Dude,
stand-up every night.
I agree. I agree with you. I
feel
forget.
like, if I may,
Yeah.
I feel like for the first 6 months, I really held tight. I
did.
held steady. I was steady.
I forget what you look like.
Around
before the
Thanksgiving is
hair.
when I started
Do
to
we
break.
have a photo of her before the hair? I like forget what she looked like before the hair.
I started to
Literally.
break around Thanksgiving. That's when I really,
Yes.
it really started to catch up to me. The demons started to catch up to me.
Right.
The not doing stand-up, the addiction that was keeping all the voices at bay,
Right.
started catching up to me.
It fucks us all. I get it. We're all losing our minds.
And that's me with brown hair. I think I got to go back to brown hair. I think
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
got to pull it together. It's gone
Yeah.
too far. But this is my argument against podcasting. It's people. This has been enabled. People are like love it, love it, love it. Whereas in TV they go, no, you can't do that. You look insane.
There's different mediums, different strokes for different folks.
Because I feel like you can go down a wormhole in social media where you can find anyone to encourage bad choices.
That's absolutely true. But you gotta.
Something to be said for the old school publicist who's like, yeah, we don't let her speak. Like there's
Yeah, I agree.
because I was
For
like,
you,
I'm gonna fire everyone.
Certainly agree.
I'm going rogue.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, there's a reason publicists
Right.
this ridiculous Byzantine system works because talent. We're mentally ill. We shouldn't be talking. We shouldn't be making our own choices. We shouldn't be able to record ourselves and blast at any time.
When you were on the Honeymooners,
Yep.
you were one of the most iconic figures in television. Okay? You worked with Jackie Gleason. You worked with Art Carney. These were legends. I'm so grateful. We're grateful to have known you and to have the gifts that you've given to us. The episode where you and Ethel ate the chocolates when they were going down the thing.
By the way,
These are
it actually is. Cloris Leachman passed away.
Yes.
And I had like 4 pictures of me and her to choose from.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad.
It was,
They say the Cloris Leachman died. Not that you took pictures
yeah.
of it. Listen, you have to join the ranks of the legends.
You know what I want to
You have to
do?
join the ranks. Ascend the golden staircase.
I want to be a judge on one of those mask shows. Mask Singer. I want to just be a judge.
Well, that's nice.
I want to do that.
Well, isn't that
Do
fun?
comedy most of the year, 2 months as a judge on one of those ridiculous shows, because people still watch those.
But you can do it.
They're fun. I have fun doing that.
Can't you get that gig?
Yes. No, I was a guest host on Masked Dancer last night. I went and shot it like a couple months ago. It was a fucking blast.
Are you in the studio and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We went and shot. It was like Ashley Tisdale and Paul Abdul and Brian Austin Green and Dr. Ken. I was like,
who and who?
Craig Robinson.
Brian Austin Green, the guy from 90210?
Yes, but he won. But this is 90210, the first one. But here's what I'll say. Remember he shot his friend? Or his friend killed himself on 90210? Remember that? I brought it up on The Masked Dancer. They cut it out.
Oh, really?
I was like, yeah, I remember.
How is Brian Austin Green not shot himself?
He's making that Masked Dancer money.
I'm sure he is.
But
and I wish him all the best. Doesn't that sound fun, everyone?
But here's what I'll say.
Doesn't TV sound good? You can see someone dress up like a crab on the Fox lot.
I went on The Masked Dancer and I was like, this is what Hollywood should be. A ridiculous spectacle with a bunch of idiots not pretending they're better than anyone. We're in sequin costumes. We're doing dumb dances with washed up This is what it should be.
Right.
A ridiculous clown.
A circus.
A ridiculous clown show spectacle.
Yes.
Silvio Berlusconi 101. Why were we pretending we were artists and had a craft and we were taking ourselves seriously? We're fucking pigs. We're disgusting mentally ill pigs that are entertaining for like an hour a day. This is what we should be doing.
Right. Well, I wish you luck in your new career at The Masked Dancer. I've never seen the show, but I'm sure it's good. And I think people need to watch it in between handfuls of OxyContin or whatever they're doing in this country. Whatever people are doing in this country, in between that, while they're scratching themselves in an opioid rage, they should watch Brian Austin Green dress up like Sebastian from The Little Mermaid and dance.
It's pretty fucking entertaining.
I bet it is.
I think that, you know what it is? Because that's what it's come to, is that watching people dance in costumes, you realize, like, when you see an actor acting, you're like, oh, that's the guy that dated the so-and-so, or that's the guy that raped so-and-so. Like, actors are too distracting now because we know too much about them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But someone in a costume performing and singing, you're just like, oh, I can just sit here and... That was the only time I've been entertained in like months.
Well, I gotta watch it because it is super popular, and I have friends that watch it who I respect. So I'm like, why are you watching that? But they're like, what are we supposed to do? Listen to your podcast over and over again? I'm like, yes.
Because it's like mindless. It's what entertainment's supposed to be: mindless, fun.
We can't play a clip from it.
Campy,
right?
silly. Yeah, we can play it. Mindless, campy. Hold on. Whitney Cummings, Masked Dancer.
Yeah, because I'm interested.
It also could be my dear friend Kate Upton had a baby, has a similar height.
No, I'm sorry. Okay, well, Kate Upton's my actual friend.
Okay.
I'm calling Kate Upton.
Don't call
Why
her.
not? I'm going to see if she really knows who you are. If she doesn't answer, this could be Kate Upton.
Like, it was like, that's a weird trailer, or that's, whatever. It's just like silly shit. Do you know what I mean? It's insanity. It's apocalyptic entertainment, Masked Dancer. They're just watching.
Do you watch this, Ben? Do your wife watch it?
Here we go. Look at this. This is a television show.
Who this flower is, here's a beautiful bouquet of new clues for you.
It's a game show. You have to figure it out. It's math. You have to be engaged. TV knows it's not relevant anymore. They know they have to do something to make you addicted.
It's a game I call Rapid Fire.
Oh, let's see what
Fire. Like you just
Boyfriend of Donna Martin will start.
look at the editing. They know how short our attention span is.
I know, it's perfect.
They understand.
This is perfect.
Like-
Let's see what question you ask.
She graduated!
I don't know.
What was that?
Where would you retire?
I've never thought about it.
That's because she's young.
How are you at memorizing
I
dialogue?
would say I'm a pro.
Could be an actor.
Okay, what would be worse, running out of gas or running low on battery on your phone?
On my phone, of course.
Yes.
So what does that mean?
Mindless.
Influencer?
I know what you're talking about.
From the clues, who do you think this is? Ken.
I still think this is an actor and a trained dancer.
Yep.
I thought this was Heather Morris.
I mean, this is the future of TV, right? That.
Okay, well, count me out. Count me out. That's all.
It's like
There's no interest. I mean, imagine sitting on a panel and being like, hey, who are you? Like, that is a hell. What you were showing me is a hell. To drive my car to that lot, to sit on that studio, get COVID tested, swabs in your nose and ass. You sit there and you got to sit next to Ashley Tisdale, and then you got to go, oh my God, so you acted, you sang. What's your relationship like your sister? Do you have a TikTok with your sister? To me, that is the 7th ring of hell. Truly.
Well,
And I get it. People love it.
yeah, I mean, there's a point where network television will come to you with an amount of money, and you're like, work 4 days for this amount of money, and you will change your mind.
And when that happens,
Everyone caves. You know what? You're like the new Patton Oswalt. He's like, fuck network. You guys aren't the first people to say fuck Hollywood. Alt comics were doing this like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And Patton Oswalt was like, sitcoms are stupid. And then he's in Ratatouille and on Two and a Half Men or Two and a Half
dude.
Men.
I'm
What's
trying
the
to get
one
into the
he's
Sway
on?
House.
King of Queens. Like, what are we doing? You guys, you all sell out eventually. I've been around long enough to know that you all sell out eventually.
Do you know what the Sway House is?
I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
What is it?
I'm not a pedophile, so I haven't been there, Tim.
Everyone is over 18.
But it is
in the Sway House.
It is
a
where,
requirement to join. I believe. Maybe
it is
not.
where they make TikTok content and they do their lazy cheerleading for the camera, which is not sustainable.
Why, when you talk about it, is there such an anger?
Because it's not sustainable. It's
Why
not.
is there such an anger in your voice?
We are wired for completion. Storytelling will never go away.
Oh boy,
it will never go away.
Who says women are grading? When you talk about these TikTokers, it sounds like you've just swallowed a bit of acid.
No,
and
I
not the
used
drug.
to dance in the mirror when I was 18. I'm so glad I didn't put it on Instagram. Or like on something permanent.
Well, I'm just saying, don't hate on my boys. We're just trying to do what we got to do. You know, we've taken over this town, and that's where I'm at.
You know
that's
what I think's interesting? The comics that have become somewhat irrelevant during this time.
Yes.
Is this theory carry any weight? Like, I do feel like it's kind of like survival of the kindest, you know, because
the people that are kind to each other are the ones that get on each other's podcasts.
Don't you think? Because it's kind of become like the people that were dicks are kind of going away.
Yes, that is true. But I also think they'll be back.
Huh.
They'll be back.
You think?
Yeah, but I think that there's never going to be one world anymore. That's the thing that's hard to understand.
And that's what else
there will never be one world anymore.
Yeah.
So the people that are gone are going to come back, but they're going to be in another dimension. And they're going to do things like The Masked Dancer that I don't give a shit about. And everyone's going to be like, yeah, but there's like a bazillion people watching. I'm going to go, yeah, but I don't care.
Yeah.
And then they're going to go, yeah, he's got a little dumb show on YouTube. I'm like, yeah, but there's 500,000 people watching. And they're going to be like, really? Like, but whatever. They're going to be like, we don't care. That's cool too. Everyone's going to live in a different world. I don't want to have to live in somebody else's world. I don't want them to have to live in my world. Choose your own reality. 2021.
You can
Choose your own reality.
You can also do this for 2 months and then go do your other thing for
2 months of The Masked Dancer?
Yes, it's like a week. You shoot that for like a week.
2 months.
Get in, get the fuck out.
Masked Dancer. I mean, it's just a crazy. So that's the argument to stay in LA. Well, you're right. I'm not going to go to Austin. Hopefully, I'll get on The Masked Dancer. And I'm not even big enough to be a judge. I'm not nearly big enough to be a judge. That's what's crazy.
You will at some point.
Here's
but
to
it's
hoping.
funny because Tim's like, fuck Hollywood, they won't hire me. They will. You just keep calling them pedophiles. Every week you call them baby dick eating pedophiles. Like, they want to hire you. You and Theo are like, fuck, the Hollywood won't hire me. They don't respect me. It's like, well, all you do is say that they are
hire us to do what though?
Run pizza places with babies being trafficked.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal.
You're making it very hard for them to do business with you.
What we're doing is relevant, and what you're doing is irrelevant. That's the reality. The Masked Dancer is not relevant to anyone except corn-fed pigs who are like falling out of their disgusting cars and crawling into a golden corral. That's who watches that show.
Yes.
People whose brains have leaked out of their ears. And there's nothing wrong with that. They deserve entertainment too.
By the way, even younger demo than TikTok. I'm getting 1010-years-olds on The Masked Dancer.
Oh, well, and you should be proud. Why would I call Hollywood pedophiles when they're marketing to 10-year-olds? Why would I?
Because I was on there and they were like, this is like a kid's show. And I was like, oh, had no idea.
I think if you cut this up in clips, you should cut it up to make it look like me and Whitney got a big fight where I go, you're irrelevant. What I'm doing is relevant. What you're doing is irrelevant. Because I'm telling you, very smart. None of you will do this, but I'm telling you because I get views. What you should do is actually make it look very like contentious and put like dun 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 music.
It's not contentious. Like, I feel like we're still healing from our fight.
It's not contentious on my end at all.
And you're focused on your stock market thing.
I'm so on another planet because I don't even do this anymore. Like, you're talking to me as a comedian. I'm not even a comedian anymore.
No, you're fully
I'm
like in your businessman
Hold the
mode.
line. I want to talk to your brother. I want to have an hour conversation with your brother about this.
Really quick. Am I buying Bitcoin this week?
Sure.
Why?
Because it's going to be a thing. It's going to be here. It's going to stay. I think that it'll go up. I don't think there's going to be a massive crash. I think it's something that you should own. You should absolutely own one.
I took my money out of cannabis.
I would keep money in cannabis. I'd keep money in electric cars. Keep money in everything that's going to happen, right? Cannabis is going to be legal. Electric cars are the wave of the future. Tesla is a massive stock. But right now, the two most things that I believe in most are video game stores and movie theaters. That I believe in most in terms of the trends that are happening.
Hollywood's dead, but movie theaters will work. No one's making movies, but movie theaters are.
This episode should be called Hold the Line. Do you guys title your episodes? Hold the line, baby.
I love that you hate Hollywood movies, but you're investing in movie theaters.
But here's the thing. What you're calling Hollywood is actually just a fire. And Hollywood is actually the things that you hate, which is people like me, the TikTokers.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
Corvette.
What about Snapchat? No?
It's fine.
Okay. As the authority on all things social media.
Well, I think TikTok is I don't have a lot of followers on TikTok because I've devoted most of my time to managing money. But I recognize the power of being young Hollywood and being 17 years old and having people like you hate on me. But that's okay. That's part of my journey. Part of my journey is to get hated on and still flourish. My haters make me stronger. That's all.
There is something kind of amazing about this new generation. They DM each other. They help each other. It's such the opposite of how comedians are.
It's a collaborative generation. We're taking over.
We?
Yeah.
Oh.
I am the D'Amelios, and they are me. We're all one.
But why then? I'm just curious. What about what they did was...
They're just the girls next door, and they just danced.
They were consistent and did it.
They just did it. You know, what do you want me to do? I can't tell you why... Me and my friends are the coolest people in the country.
If Charlie D'Amelio went on
She's my best friend. Charlie D'Amelio is my best friend.
If Charlie D'Amelio went on a theater tour tomorrow, how many tickets would she sell? In America?
I don't know.
Is it America? We just don't know what's translating to ticket sales
yet. I bet it would be a few. I bet she could pull some numbers.
In the United States.
I bet she
These
could
aren't
pull
like
some
random China numbers, Indian
numbers. Let's say a quarter. Let's say 3/4 of her TikTok following is fake.
Can you see?
That still leaves her
with
25 million people.
Can you see on TikTok where your followers live, like you can on Instagram?
I don't know. I don't think so.
That's shady to me.
I'm sure it's shady. Of course TikTok's shady.
Yeah.
But you got to get on Triller.
What's that?
Triller's the new TikTok.
What?
You old goat. Triller's the new TikTok.
Triller?
Yeah, it's a new TikTok.
Whatever happened with Twitch is
there.
Weren't we going to start a Twitch empire?
People are making money on Twitch.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's happening with Twitch?
People are gaming.
Should we do the OnlyFans roast? I want to do a roast that's on OnlyFans, and it's like the dirty jokes that we're not allowed to tell.
I don't want to shit on sex workers.
Okay.
I'm not an old conservative Republican like you. I'm a liberal progressive. Black Lives Matter AOC stand. So I don't want to...
OnlyFans.
Yeah, I don't want to shit on people that are trying to make a living.
I think if you want to do an independently distributed thing, you could do it on OnlyFans. You can shoot a special, put it on OnlyFans. No.
I don't think so. I think we need to not... I think we should stay off OnlyFans.
Okay.
Let them have it.
Okay.
People got to have something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When are you leaving me?
March 1st. I go on the road in a
What happens to all the we put so much effort into your house here.
It goes on a truck and it drives 20 hours, not even, to
My
to
pig
Texas.
is in Austin.
All the furniture looks better in the Texas house.
It's true.
Absolutely.
It is so my aesthetic.
It's beautiful. It works perfect.
And you're going to live together?
No, he's going to have a house with his wife.
Okay.
Yeah. He can afford a house in Texas. You know?
I'm jealous. I'm jealous and I feel left out. And
you're going to be fine. We're all going to be back in LA. I'm going to come back to LA all the time. It's nothing. If I didn't tell you I was moving to Texas, you wouldn't know. You know what I mean?
Maybe. That might be true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've been in Palm Springs and you've been,
Yeah, I've been here, I've been there. I mean, it's just like I'm just telling you.
We have to move all the time. That's the other thing about comics. Like, it's like we are
Here's
sharks.
the thing, man. I guarantee you, listen, you don't want to hear this because you're fixing up this house. It's going to be beautiful. I'm just saying there's a real possibility you're not going to want to spend time where you quarantined when it's over.
That's so interesting. Well, also the house that I'm staying in now where I had COVID, the bedroom I had it in, I can't even look at it. I just
Right.
I don't like it is. I don't want to think about it.
I think when the quarantine ends,
Yeah.
you're going to look at this house and you're going to go, this reminds me.
Well, this is going to be.
I have a
different house.
water.
Yeah.
You're going to say, well, yeah, but it's not. It's going to be still the house that you were in jail. And you're going to go, I don't know. And you're going to put it on the market and you're going to sell it for a good amount of money.
Interesting.
And then you're going to go, you're always going to have a place here. You're going to downsize a little bit. You're going to get a beautiful place here, and you're going to buy a place in Austin or Texas or wherever for good reason. And you're going to buy you'll probably have a ranch.
The places without income tax are Nevada,
Florida, Texas,
Tennessee, Alaska.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know all of them.
Yeah.
Washington State, maybe. I don't know. But I'll tell you this. I think you're going to live here for a while. I think you'll live here for a year after the reno's done. I think you'll live here for a year. But I think eventually you're going to put it on the market and go. And you're going to put it on the market because this was the quarantine house.
Interesting.
Yeah, I believe so.
I feel like we had a good quarantine here.
It was great.
I haven't had a negative, like we kind of made it
You
work.
didn't have a negative experience. It doesn't matter. You got to keep moving. You're a shark. Got to keep moving.
It's so true.
Got to keep moving. You got to keep moving. I have to keep moving. I went to go get the house in Malibu, and then I went, this isn't enough. This isn't far enough. I need a change. I need everything to change.
Yes, you were cabin
I
fever.
need everything to change. I need out of this state. I need out of this thing. I can't be like driving to West Hollywood being like, is the Comedy Store open? Having another dinner, looking at a place
like
I used to work.
Perseverating.
All my friends don't live here anymore. Comedy's not coming back. And I'm driving around like looking at the bombed out buildings being like, well, it's going to, but one day it's going to, nope.
Yeah.
Got to be new. It's all got to always be new. And I'm sure in 5 years in Austin, I'll be like, it's got to be new.
Yeah.
I'll keep a house there for taxes, but I'm like, I might go, I'm getting an apartment in New York City. They could be like, really?
No,
I'm
you're going to be
yeah.
like a Palm Beach person ultimately. You're
Very,
going to be like a Palm Beach.
Very possible.
Yeah.
Very possible.
Where you belong. Epstein's house is for sale.
It's a beautiful home, but it's not nearly as nice as some of the other ones. But yeah, man, I don't think I'll spend the rest of my life in Texas.
Yeah.
But I do think I'm there. I think it's a 5-year game there. I'm 36, 40, 41. Like I don't know how much juice is left in anything I'm doing.
It's so true.
And like who knows? Is a podcast in 5 years? Am I like, God, I love this? Am I like, this has become something else? Is it a late night show that I host on YouTube and on other platforms? Am I like, do I want to in 5 years? Do I have enough money? Go, I want to make a movie. And I'm just going to move to LA for a year and like try to make a movie. And then Ben comes out every month and we spend a week having meetings. I don't know. It's all fine. He'll travel. I'll travel. He's the only dude I really need in terms of like a collaborative partnership that we work on stuff all the time. And, he'll have a wife, they'll have a few kids, but like he works. He shows up all the time and works. And like if I got to travel or if he's got to go somewhere and we got to pitch something or whatever, we'll do it. But I just think getting out of this area where literally everything I know is just over.
Yeah.
And for me to keep saying like, oh no, but you got to understand when it comes back. I keep saying when it comes back, I start to feel like a crazy person. I really do start to feel like a crazy person because it's like, I don't know if it's coming back or how it's coming back. They're like, no, when it comes back, it's like a girl who's, you have the relationship where they both go away to different colleges.
Yeah.
Like, no, but when we see each other.
Yeah,
when we see each other. No, on Thanksgiving.
Who are we kidding?
We have Christmas.
Yeah.
It's just not, it's over. And by the way, if I was in New York during quarantine, I would fucking jet out of there. It's just wherever the hell you were. It's like whatever you were. And especially this scene in LA has been bombed.
Do we know how Chappelle got COVID?
I have no idea. Yeah. Some person was with him that I think had it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because those shows were doing okay. I mean, I don't know. I'm touring next month. We'll see.
I'm touring next month too.
Where are you going? Tell everyone.
I'm going to Baltimore. I'm going to Royersford, Pennsylvania.
Where are you going in Baltimore?
Magoobies.
Love it.
Yeah, it's a great club.
This is such a great club. I always run my specials there before I shoot them.
I do Magoobies in Baltimore with Comedy Connection, Providence, Rhode Island. I'm doing Royersford, Pennsylvania, a heated dome. I mean, it's what we have to do now.
And then how many, is it half capacity?
Whatever, something, yeah.
Looking at people in hazmat suits?
Hilarities in Cleveland, Zanies in Chicago, sold out. Or the Improv in Chicago, Schaumburg Improv, sold out.
Great.
Or not sold out yet, so
amazing
a few
venue.
tickets left. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited for the next chapter, but there's got to be a next chapter. And I think that for too long, I was still trying to reshuffle the cards here, and it wasn't exciting. Wasn't exciting.
I guess what I'm realizing about podcasting as I'm talking to you is I'm kind of shy.
Yeah.
Like this is hard for me to do.
Right. It's difficult because
I like hiding behind a computer, writing the thing, giving it, and then doing the thing after it's been practiced for a long time.
Well,
every time I leave a podcast, I have a complete nervous breakdown. I was like, that was terrible. I'm quitting podcasting.
Because when you're authentic, you're real. Everyone loves you. It's just like listen. Everyone's got to get used to it. It's very different, and I think that like for the first half of your career, the movies were silent. These were silent films. So you just had to look at someone and they knew what you were talking about. You didn't have to learn dialogue or anything. And then when they started doing color, they did color and you're like, oh my God, I'm in color. And then they did talking in the films, dialogue. You've seen all of these advancements happen. Now people have TVs in their home. Like you saw people get TVs in their home. In the beginning, you were on a show called The Shadow, which was a radio show, which was one of the top radio shows. And they would interrupt it every now and then when there was an announcement about the war. But you've gone through all of these things. And now you just have to learn how to be yourself. Now you're just back to.
Oh God!
What we're doing now is back to the basics.
I feel like I'm like Valerie.
I'm
full Valerie Cherish from the comeback at this point.
Yes. Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, a little bit. Do you not watch TV at all? You don't watch shows?
No.
Nothing.
I watched Succession. I watched Cobra Kai. I used to watch Ozark. I watch Curb sometimes, but not a ton. But I got to be honest with you, not a lot of TV.
Interesting.
Dude, I'm more listening to podcasts and I don't listen to a ton of podcasts compared to other people. I know people listen.
You listen to podcasts as a fan?
If I'm interested in something, I will listen to a Lex Friedman podcast for an hour and try to learn about what somebody's talking about.
I feel like I should have a kid with Lex Friedman.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
What
a well-adjusted kid.
Don't you think that's a good idea? No. I feel like we should have a kid together. We don't have to date or anything. No?
Yeah, I mean, he's an interesting guy. He's a sweetheart, brilliant guy. Sure, good, go for it. You have my blessing.
Okay, thank you.
You have my blessing.
So you listen to Lex's podcast?
I listen to Lex because I want to learn shit.
Okay.
Every now and then, not always. Okay. But I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, do we watch TV, Ben? I don't really think we do. Like, it's boring.
Yeah.
I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'd rather go on Clubhouse and listen to people and talk shit.
Like real
and have
people.
Fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring.
Well, Clubhouse is like the new reality TV. But with, you know what I mean? But with but reality TV's never been real. This is like the real reality TV.
Right.
It's a bunch of people. People get in fights. People are like.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's just pure chaos.
Yeah.
Just mutiny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I love you.
Well, I love you too, and I hope you come visit.
I feel like we did a very mellow, kind of serious podcast today.
People need to hear the truth. Hold the line. Hold the line.
I love you.
I love you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for lunch.
Thank you for not canceling.
Thank you for having me.
I feel like we're
Tim Dillon Show. Tim J. Dillon on Instagram, Twitter. I'm on Clubhouse. Follow me on Clubhouse. Tim J. Dillon.
People can't get on Clubhouse without an invite.
Oh, then don't.
It's not public yet.
I'm a venture capitalist. Thank you.